let's dive right in, man. You mentioned in one of your emails that you're preparing yourself for 3 different conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And that must, like you mentioned, like sometimes it feels like a job. You're on the road. Everything just takes a lot of time. I can only assume. So, I've noticed a lot of fathers are struggling with really organizing the time well. They have to travel to work every day, and coming back, of course, and then also spend time with their families. Maybe even work out, do all the good stuff as well. I'm just wondering, man, with your life, with all the traveling that you do, and the stand up, and the, everything that's going on. How do you make sure that everything, how do you time manage? How do you make sure that everything gets your divided attention?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we talk about the 3 conferences I'm preparing for. It's 3 very different roles I'm doing. I have right now through the end of October is crazy for me. It's just conference time, So this morning, I did a keynote for a conference here in Kansas City. And yesterday, I was customizing the speech all day long. I tend to kind of put it off. I don't really put it off to the last minute, but every time I customize a keynote, it's like I'm cramming for finals, because ideally you would have this all planned out a couple weeks beforehand, but I'm basically just approaching each conference as it comes. So, I'll collect some notes and do a little research, sometimes months to or weeks prior to an event, but the bulk of my customization happens within like 2 to 3 days beforehand. So the reason I tell you that is because I'm teaching I play piano. And so I'm teaching our 8-year-old piano, and we just sit down when we can, and she wants me to teach her Star Wars because she found out that when I was her age, I was playing Star Wars. So she's like, okay, I have to learn Star Wars. So I was kind of working overtime last night trying to prepare for this morning's keynote. And I was starting to teach her Star Wars, but one of my processes as for customizing for keynotes is I just have to walk a lot. And once I have everything in order, I just like to walk and sort of rehearse, right? Because you sort of have to commit this to memory, because I don't like to get on stage and use notes. It seems impersonal. So I knew I had to walk last night, and I had to choose between teaching piano and taking a walk. And last night I chose the walk because it was urgent, right? Because I know there's going to be time tonight and tomorrow for me to teach that piano. But sometimes you feel like you're throwing your family under the bus because you have to spend an evening preparing for something. But it is a constant balance. So you have to make sure that if you're putting your work before your kids at one point, that you're balancing that later, that they know that you love them more than your work, that they're more important to you. It's just the way that when, life for an entrepreneur, and I guess for anybody, the schedule looks different. I'm not working a 9 to 5, so it's not like every night from, 4 to 7 is family time. It doesn't look that way for us, and we homeschool. So I'm here all day long. So I have opportunities during the day to go on bike rides and hang out. So it's really every day when I wake up and I have my to-do list, which I'm learning lately that to-do lists are very deceptive. They make you feel like you're productive, when sometimes it's just good to check things off the list sometimes. But my spending time with my girls is on that to-do list every day so that I don't forget. Just take 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, half an hour here to just sit down and read a book or talk or play the piano or go shoot baskets. Because with 5 kids, you're right. I have to pay individual attention to each one, and that just takes intentionality.
Hey man, I hope you got all the information out of this that you were looking for. If so, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you hit the bell, then every time we come out with a new video, you will be informed. For now, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you soon.